You're listening to Migrants on www Radio Asistencia Humanitaria Lima.org, broadcasting from Lima, Peru. Good afternoon and welcome to the program, Migrants. Today I'm sharing with you an article from The Guardian of June 1st, written by correspondent Patrick Kingsley. Migrant deaths rate slows after search and rescue boost. The rate at which migrants are drowning in the Mediterranean has slowed since the resumption of wide-scale rescue operations in May, with the death toll falling below the equivalent figures from the same period last year. The number of deaths in the first 5 months of 2015 have exceeded 1,800 and is at least 5 times higher than the death toll for the same period of 2014, when 425 migrants drowned between Libya and Italy. But the rate dropped significantly in May after several European Union navies sent ships to bolster rescue efforts and a private rescue mission run by Médecins Sans Frontières and the Migrant Offshore Aid Station returned to the high seas. Fewer than 100 migrants drowned last month, down from 329 in May 2014, despite more migrants crossing the Mediterranean, the UN said. In each of the previous months of the year, the death tolls had far outstripped their 2014 equivalents. Britain was among the European navies to send additional rescue ships to assist the Italian Coast Guard after about 800 migrants drowned in a shipwreck in April. HMS Bulwark has been saving lives in the Mediterranean since the start of May. The European Union border agency Frontex also announced plans last week to quadruple its area of maritime operations. Campaigners say it is impossible to draw definitive causal links between the fall in deaths and the increase in rescue operations. But Will Turner, who leads MSF's Mediterranean missions, nevertheless welcomed the rise in state-led rescue efforts and called for them to continue. We welcome all increases in search and rescue capacity as long as it remains in place and there isn't a blurring of lines between military operations and the life-saving humanitarian work. Turner said search and rescue operations were not the reason thousands of migrants were attempting to reach Europe. We still don't feel that having search and rescue, which should be there regardless, is a pull factor. From what we see and from the people we meet from Syria, Eritrea, and Somalia, people are willingly taking these journeys because there's no safe alternative. More than 46,000 migrants have reached Europe by boat in 2015, according to the UN, compared with 41,243 between January and May of 2014. Well, I'm going to proceed now to give a read to this in Spanish, kind of quickly, and then I'll make an announcement. Se alenta la tasa de muertes después del incremento de búsqueda y rescate. Es un artículo del corresponsal del periódico The Guardian, Patrick Kingsley. La tasa de migrantes que se ahogan en el Mediterráneo ha bajado desde que en mayo se reanudaran en mayor escala las operaciones de rescate. La cifra es menor, equivalentemente a la del mismo periodo del año pasado. El número de fatalidades de los 5 primeros meses del 2015 ha excedido los 1.800 y es por lo menos 5 veces más alta que el total de los muertos del mismo periodo del 2014, cuando se ahogaron 425 migrantes entre Italia y Libia. Pero la cifra bajó significativamente en mayo, después que varios navíos de la Unión Europea fueron enviados para reforzar los esfuerzos de rescate y una misión particular administrada por Médicos Sin Fronteras y la Estación Costera de Asistencia a Migrantes retomar a alta mar. Menos de 100 migrantes se ahogaron el mes pasado en comparación a 329 en mayo del 2014, pese a que más migrantes surcan el Mediterráneo, citó las Naciones Unidas. En cada uno de los meses anteriores de este año, el estrago de las muertes había superado muy de lejos sus equivalentes del año pasado. Gran Bretaña estuvo entre las armadas europeas que enviaron buques de rescate adicionales para asistir a los guardacostas italianos después que unos estimados 800 migrantes se ahogaran en un naufragio. El barco británico Bulwark viene salvando vidas en el Mediterráneo desde el principio de mayo. La agencia fronteriza Frontex también anunció la semana pasada planes para cuadriplicar su área de operaciones marítimas. Los activistas manifiestan que es imposible afirmar conclusivamente una relación causal entre la disminución de víctimas y el aumento de las operaciones de rescate. Pero Will Turner, quien encabeza las misiones de rescate en el Mediterráneo, dijo que aún así acogía el incremento de los esfuerzos de rescate liderados por el Estado e invitó a que estos continúen. Damos la bienvenida a todos los aumentos en operaciones de búsqueda y rescate, siempre y cuando se mantengan y no se produzca una confusión de los límites entre operación militar y las de salvavidas del trabajo humanitario. Turner afirmó que las operaciones de búsqueda y rescate no son la razón de que miles de migrantes estén tratando de llegar a Europa. Aún no sentimos que el que haya búsqueda y rescate, que debería existir de todas maneras, sea un factor de atracción para los migrantes. Por lo que vemos y por la gente con la que tratamos de Siria, Eritrea y Somalia, ellos están dispuestos de propia voluntad a hacer estas travesías porque no hay otra alternativa segura. Más de 46.000 migrantes han llegado a Europa por bote en el 2015, conforme a las Naciones Unidas, comparado con 41.243 entre enero y mayo del 2014. Aquí concluye el artículo y ahora les quiero anunciar la participación de nuestra corresponsal en Europa, Theodora Raleigh. Y en este momento la tenemos en línea. Bienvenida, Theodora.
Hola.
Welcome to the program. Welcome to the program, Theodora. And how are you today?
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, great to have you on the program too. And you've been listening, and you know what Patrick Kingsley is stating in the article. And I would like to hear what you have to say about it and share with us your take, your points of view on the article just read and the opinions of Patrick Kingsley. Can you give us your comments?
Yes. Well, okay, as you know, it's a very complex issue. It cannot be addressed only by taking into account one or two factors. It's a very complex issue. Well, generally speaking, please let me know if I go out of the topic, but I wanted to give a bit of general comments first. Generally speaking, then, there are three routes: the eastern in the Mediterranean Sea, the eastern, mainly from Greece, the central Mediterranean route from Italy, and the western through Spain. The number of migrants that have tried to cross to pass from these routes changed. For example, in 2012, Greece was the main entrance country, the main entrance for migrants to the EU. But now things have changed, and in 2014, the main pathway is Italy, and the sea passing that starts from Libya and goes to Lampedusa, the small island of Italy. Well, you mentioned some numbers before.
Yes.
Well, in 2014, there were only like 200,000 people that crossed the Mediterranean, and among them 3,500 people died. Now, lately, actually in May, we have seen some changes. The EU has rescued quite a lot of immigrants, and in fact, only in 24 hours, 4,000 and 200 migrants have been saved and led to southern Italy. Well, what I see is that there is the EU wants to change, not wants, but is trying to change a bit the perspective or the approach towards this matter.
Well, I can. I appreciate your comments. As you say, it's a complex issue. It's not easy for anyone, but I think most of the world is watching, and people are concerned. And as you say, I agree. Now there has change has come, and the numbers are dropping, and the passing ways have also changed. Like you said, Greece was at the beginning of this, or not at the beginning, but really when it was noticed, Greece was being the place that was receiving the most, and then suddenly it has become Italy. After the Lampedusa tragedy, then more attention was paid. And can you tell us more about the allocation of specific numbers that the European Union, I understand, has assigned different countries to have X number of migrants to be accepted? And this is a recommendation of the European Union, right? Do you know what I mean? Like Spain has...
I think so, but I could not hear you very well. Do you mean how migrants are distributed, let's say, in the several European countries?
Exactly. There has been... Yes. Tell us about that.
Yeah, of course. Well, this is actually another issue that the EU is called to solve, because right now there is not fair, let's say, distribution among the EU countries. It concerns mainly asylum, and because there is no a coherent or a common asylum policy, and the asylum policies among the European countries are quite different. So what we see, what is the main point, the main principle of the common of the to date asylum policy is the double regulation, which says that the asylum of one person, the asylum claim must be processed by the country through which he or she entered. So this makes things a bit complicated in the sense that, for example, the main entry countries are, as I said before, Greece, Italy, and Spain. So the people that enter from and want an asylum cannot go further, stay in these countries and get the asylum.
Right. Well,
now, this of course means...
Go ahead.
I didn't hear you.
No. Go ahead. Keep talking. We're listening. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, but a bit distant.
You were at the point that you were speaking about the difficulty of having asylum being assigned to certain countries. Greece, Italy, and Spain are their target countries, right? So they are the ones that are receiving the most numbers, or they are the ones that the European Union has cited that they are going to provide asylum to migrants. And this is something that is not across the board. It's not something that all the countries are participating, and Spain as well has manifested or stated that they do not feel that is fair. It's not right because they are receiving more than they can handle. I don't know, Italy has its own rules about this, and they're different, like you said. So at the end of the day, so to speak, then what is happening as far as is the European Union going to demand that this is what it has to be, or are there talks in the way to change it or improve it, or is this the end of what they are going to do?
Yes, well, the issue is only a bit touched upon. Of course, Greece and Italy, as far as I know, they are asking for a change because this, as you said, it's a difficult issue for both the countries, as there is a lot of migrants and asylum seekers. But other countries have posed in a way. For example, UK has the UK has granted asylum only to 10,000 Syrians, for example, last year, whereas Germany is the first country that has granted asylum to Syrians, which actually who were the main nationality.
Okay, excuse me, Theodora. Could you repeat the last part where you said Germany is the only country? What specifically? What is Germany doing?
Germany has granted the highest number of asylum.
Okay, are they the people that are coming to Germany? Are they from Syria only, or are they receiving from other countries?
They're from other countries as well.
Okay.
People were the main nationality that asked for asylum last year.
All right. Okay, thank you. That's clear. Well, it's not something that is easy to pick apart or to say this country is doing better than the other. I believe that from the way that most of us interpret these things are that Spain as well as Italy as well as Greece want to help, but of course they have limited resources, and it is up to the European Union to come in and offer more resources. And this seems to be the issue with everybody. What is the European Union planning to do other than say this many thousands have to be received by Spain, and how are they injecting X millions of euros? Or have they assigned an amount, a specific amount that they are going to pump into these three countries that are carrying the weight, the burden, the large weight of people coming into these three countries? I don't know much about that. Can you tell us if there has been a mention of type of a line of expense or resources that they are going to allocate to these countries so they can take care of the needs?
Well, this I cannot say for certain, but among the things that the EU has discussed recently in April and in May are this is not only about refugees, it's about people that come that cross the Mediterranean and come to Europe, that they want to increase the patrols in the sea, the search and rescue operations. So this is where they will, this is what the EU will fund, is planning to fund give money to for the next year.
Okay. And one last question for you, Theodora. Can you give us a feeling of what the people of Greece, the common people, the citizens, what is their general take on this? What is their opinion of the situation with the refugees and the asylum and the migrants? How do the people in Greece, the Greeks, feel about this? Can you give us your opinion on that?
Yes. Well, I will talk about Greece since I live there. I'm from there. Well, I think Greek people haven't really captured, let's say, what a refugee is and where these people come from, why they have traveled to Europe and what they ask for and all the dangers they have been in. So I think until now, maybe there is a change. I hope there is a bigger change in the future. Until now, I think the common opinion, the public opinion is that it is always connected with the economic crisis, with migrants, that there is the anti-immigrant sentiment.
Yes,
yes. Not only the political rhetoric, but also in the public opinion.
Right. Well, Theodora, I really thank you for your participation, and we expect to have you return to us with your opinions and takes on what is the feeling of the people and what are the latest news and happenings. I hope that you can do that with us, and we've enjoyed having you in the program. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll see you.
Thank you for the invitation and for the call.
Sure. Yes, Theodora, you have a great day today. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Hemos estado entonces con Theodora Raleigh desde Europa. Ella ha dado su opinión, un corresponsal sobre los temas de que estamos tratando en el programa casualmente, ¿no? La migración, la tragedia que ocurre en alta mar. Ella nos cita, por supuesto, que los que han recibido la mayor cantidad de refugiados, de migrantes y que en el proceso perdieron la vida, fue Grecia. Eso sí, ha tomado un giro y un cambio. Y entonces Italia se convirtió, digamos, en el centro de llegada de miles. Y estos migrantes, de estos han llegado ya, mejor dicho, náufragos sin vida. Han habido naufragios y muchas veces ya lo que han rescatado es personas sin vida. Recuerdo que el Papa Francisco intervino después de la gran tragedia en Lampedusa, que fue realmente conmovedor, y pidiendo en general a Europa que hiciese algo más. Y es así que al fin se han movido las conciencias, digamos, de todos, que todos estamos bastante, en realidad, afectados con las tragedias y tantas vidas que se pierden en el mar. Y ahora tenemos que la Unión Europea ha tomado ciertas decisiones, aunque no son totalmente recibidas con agrado, es algo, es una ayuda. Y ahora España, Italia y Grecia tienen cierta ayuda específica para dar asilo. Y esto quiere decir, ¿no?, que van a quedarse y van a tener beneficios de salud y todo lo que recibe cualquier otro ciudadano. Pero por supuesto que Italia piensa que no es justa la distribución del número de asignados que deben recibir. España está en la misma situación. Entonces no hay un consenso, digamos, entre estos países. Unos se sienten más afectados que otros. La realidad es que es una tragedia. Es algo que todos tenemos que estar atentos y ver cómo, quizás escuchando las radios de las Naciones Unidas, escuchando también nuestro programa en Radio Asistencia Humanitaria, podríamos estar mejor informados para poder participar. Un pequeñito grano de arena es participando virtualmente, también enviando comentarios. Ya les daré en otra oportunidad, ahorita se nos está acabando el tiempo, y quisiera decir que estamos en un proceso de revisión porque el programa Migrantes afecta mayormente a gente que está fuera del Perú, de nuestro país. Transmitimos desde Lima y tenemos conocimiento de que la mayoría de los escuchas están fuera de nuestro país, por todo el mundo, en Europa, en fin. Entonces es imperativo que hablemos en inglés y que se lea en inglés. No se ha tomado una decisión final, pero probablemente estemos transmitiendo en un solo idioma, este sería el inglés, pero no es algo que está, digamos, escrito en cemento en el momento. Entonces vamos a ver cómo vamos progresando. De todas maneras, les quiero agradecer. Hasta ahora estamos llegando al fin de esta programación de Migrantes el día de hoy. Y entonces creo que me están pasando la voz para el próximo programa que va, no sé, no. Perdón. Allá. Perdón, estaba teniendo una dificultad en realizar las cosas que debo decir en este momento, perdón. Nomás me piden que debo en realidad presentarme, que no lo he hecho en los 3 programas que tengo el gusto de colaborar. Es algo que para mí es esencial, poner el granito de arena como pueda. Mi nombre es María Cristina Lindahl y tengo muchísimo gusto de servirlos y cooperar con la radioestación. Espero contar con el apoyo de ustedes. So, my name is Maria Cristina Lindahl, and we are broadcasting from Lima, and I'm privileged to be able to participate and contribute to Radio Asistencia Humanitaria. And this is a non-profit organization, and we hope that you will stay with us and tune again on the next program. And, of course, you can tune us at www.radioasistenciahumanitaria, altogether, _lima.org. It was a pleasure to be with you today, and I hope you have enjoyed the program. And toodaloo, we'll see you the next time. Bye.